Hmm. Hey, what up, everybody? YouTube Live, how's it going? Sorry, I'm kind of in the middle of dressing up for work. uh, all right, so before I head out and make me some money, uh, this thing hit the web just a few minutes ago, and it's spreading like wildfire. Obviously, on Twitter, the news that Disney, Marvel is part of this Disney and Sony have struck a new deal. That's right. The Hollywood Reporter reported that the Disney slash Marvel and Sony went back to the renegotiating table. Remember, recently or not too long ago, um, their deal to have Spider-Man show up in Marvel Cinematic Universe fell through. It fell apart, and then Disney and Sony parted ways in terms of Spidey. Spidey went back to being just for Sony. The whole drama. And you know what? I To this day, I know a lot of YouTubers out there. There's a lot of theories out there as to who was to blame for that. People say, "Oh man, Disney got greedy. Disney wanted to own everything, wanted to own the world, and Disney wanted to have more financial control over the character, whatever." Right? That's one theory. And the other theory is like, Sony, how could you, Sony? Man, Spidey went nowhere, with Andrew Garfield, like with that crappy Amazing Spider-Man 2. He went nowhere until Spidey got absorbed by MCU. Like, you should be thanking MCU. You should be kissing Disney's feet. So I don't know, we don't know exactly the details of who's to blame for that parting ways, but I'm glad that both studios have struck this new deal that they were, I guess you could say, they put their egos aside and actually went back to the negotiating table to produce another Spidey movie for us. Hey, Tyler Baptist is here. I thought this was fake news. Seen it an hour ago on Twitter. I thought so too. I couldn't believe it. I thought it's like, okay, is this like April's Fool's joke in the middle or at the end of September? I don't get it. But no, it's true, Tyler. Variety also reported it, and other outlets now have picked it up. So yeah, Disney and Marvel, Disney slash Marvel, Disney owns Marvel, and Sony have come to back to the negotiating table, and they've agreed to one more Spidey movie, a Spidey movie in the spirit of MCU, in the spirit of MCU. As you know, as you all know, Sony Pictures is building their own Spidey cinematic universe, right? With Morbius movie starring Jared Leto, and then they're developing Silver Sable and Black Cat, and then they're developing. Recently it was announced or it was revealed that they're developing Morbius. I'm sorry, not Morbius. Madame Web. There you go, Madame Web. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the characters. Madame Web. So if you're a Spidey fan, you're probably familiar with Madame Web. So Sony is doing that thing, So there will be more Spidey movies that are just gonna be in the spirit of Sony Spidey. But for this third Spidey installment, it'll be, of course, as you know, I'm sure there'll be traces of like, oh my god, I miss Tony Stark. Tony Stark's my mentor. I miss him so much. That kind of traces of that again. Whatever it is, or maybe Nick Fury will show up again. So this third new deal kind of Spidey movie will be in that spirit. So what do you think about this? You know what? My opinion is that I'm glad, because I'm on the camp of like, yeah, Spidey was kind of turning to shit before MCU came along and kind of, helped him out. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield was terrible. And I think like Sony was like, Sony didn't know what to do anymore with that character. How many more Uncle Ben's death that we have to go through? How many reboots? So MCU is like, oh, we need Spidey anyway in our story arc, and it's been great. Granted, I was not too crazy about Spider-Man Far From Home. I know a lot of you are, but I'm sure it was better than what Sony would have had if they had continued the Andrew Garfield route, or if they rebooted with another origin story with Uncle Ben's death again. Um, Unbelievable montages. It sounds like they are building a live action Spider Verse. Yes, so Sony is building their own Sony Spidey cinematic universe with Morbius, Silver Sable, Black Cat, and Madame Web. Again, I'm not familiar with that character, so I'm happy about this new deal. We'll see. Of course, the exact details of this new deal are never fully disclosed. You know, what are the conditions for each studio, and how much financial control that each studio would have for this one. But the report on the Hollywood Reporter says that if this goes well, if this new deal doesn't fall through, if the movie does get made, that Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios head honcho, will have producing credit, and he will run creative point on this new Spidey movie that, of course, will star Tom Holland again. Um, so yeah, what do you think? What do you guys think? Is this good news for you guys, or do you think like, hey, you know what? Why do we even try another go at this? Just have Sony be focusing on their Spidey cinematic universe already. Let's move on. Are you on that camp? So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, okay? And I gotta head out now. It's a busy day. It's a busy Friday. Have a safe day, you guys, and I'll be back live streaming later to give you my review of today's new Titans episode. I just watched it, but I can't review it right now because I gotta head out real quick. I got some things to take care of, but I'll be back. Okay, so stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, tell everybody and their grandma about this channel. Okay, let's rock this. Woo!